The Coonhound Collective podcast is brought to you by CZ Welding and Custom Dog Boxes. Dog boxes built by hunters for hunters. Check these guys out today. This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective podcast. Welcome to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Todd Sellers. Todd, how's it going?
Going good, man. Just hot.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
it's hot for sure, man. That is no doubt about that. It's been hot here in Missouri the last week or two, and getting dry. And I'm ready for some cooler weather for sure, so I can get out here and really start pushing some hounds.
I agree with you there. I don't hunt much in the summer. We got too many critters, gators, snakes. It's not that fun down here.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can appreciate that, being from Southeast Alabama originally. I can definitely appreciate that. Well, while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, that kind of thing.
Well, I'm from South Georgia. Been here my whole life. I'm 42 years old now. Got 6 kids. Been married. Run my own business. I got 2-year-old twins, so they keep me beyond busy right now, and I don't get to hunt as much as I used to, but I still get to go here and there. My wife's done a wonderful job. She keeps kids at home while I work, and that's about it when it comes to just me personally.
Okay. Won't you tell us how you got involved in coon hunting and messing with hounds?
Well, I've been coon hunting probably close to 15 years. And later in my life, had a buddy that had a coon dog, and I got an old dog named Maggie, and it wasn't much of a coon dog. It pretty much just ran through the woods, but I just loved being in the woods at night, and that's how I got started. He had a dog called Southern Moon, I believe her name was. She's a pretty nice little dog, and I got a dog off of her, a pup. And that was actually my first nice coon dog that could actually tree a coon.
Okay. What kind of hounds was those?
Those were walkers. I started out in the walker breed, and that dog's name happened to be Blackjack. And he was kind of older when I got him. Treated his first coon with one of my good buddies, and he turned out to be a really nice dog. Probably one of the hardest hunting dogs I've had. He was stubborn as a mule. When you cut him loose, you was going to have to get him off a tree somewhere, and he was going to be by himself. I don't care what happened. He would not tree with another dog. They could back him, but he actually was my first dog I won competition hunts with. He won a world ticket for me in AKC at the Southern Heritage Hunt. We placed in the top 10 the first year they had it. I didn't go to the world hunt, but I had 1 litter of pups off him, and I ended up raising one female off of him, and I started slowing down, and I sold him to a young youth hunter, Mr. Jamie Peake and his daughter, Claire Peake. They hunted, and he won a world ticket for them. They went to Ohio with the world with him, and I think he was about 9, and he ended up getting out of the kennel and got ran over. And the daughter I had off him, she was a nice dog. I won some hunts with her. She won a world ticket, placed in the top 5 in the AKC hunt. And I actually sold her to Claire because she loved her daddy so much. So she handled her at the world hunt, and she bought her, and she's still alive today. I think she's 11 years old now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And they liked her so much and wanted liked the first dog so much they wanted something else out of them. So, what kind of dogs you hunting now?
I am hunting English dogs now. I hunted walkers. I had a couple more walkers after him and his daughter. I had a dog off Power Pack and Easy named Faith. She was a really nice walker jip. She won hunts very young, and I sold her to White Right, and she went on to be a really good little dog, good coon treer. She'd get through the country, and I ended up buying another female off Judge Dredd, and she was probably one of the best hounds I've ever touched. She I think she won 10 out of 13 calves before she was 2 years old. She had a monster mouth, just huge mouth that's unheard of on females. She died at 2 years old from a rare fungal disease. I took her to Auburn and everything, and I still had to. She died at Auburn, and I had to bury her. But she was super nice. And after that, I got a chance to handle Red Ruby's Hard Time Crow, and that got me started into the English line, and that's where I've been for the last 6 years.
Well, coming from walkers to English, when you started handling that dog, what did you see that you liked in that dog? And is that the same line of dogs that you're hunting today? Is stuff that goes back to that?
Yes, sir. Everything I own is off of Red Ruby's Hard Time Crow. Everything in my kennel is off of him or off a son that I own now that I hunt. That he's 7 now. My main stud dog, Sellers Hard Time Stoke. The accuracy is what really turned me on to this line. I love the way they hunt. They do not miss much. That the accuracy is the main part. They had good mouths too. They hustle hard, but the accuracy is well beyond what I was used to with Walker breed. You hit 60, 70, 75% accurate. With this line I'm hunting now, I mean, it varies from dog to dog. You're going to get some that's just cold out of any stud dog, but this line, they're 80 to 90% accurate. When they trees, they like having coons. They love being by themselves, and that's from the start. They are. And out of all the dogs I've hunted out of that line, even Crow and Stoke are two different dynamic styles. They were both excellent at their styles. Stoke is probably just the brains and hands down best hound I've ever stepped in the woods with because of what he can do outside of just treeing coons and how he trees coons.
Okay, won't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Stoke and some of those traits and qualities that you see in him, besides tree and coons and how he does it.
Well, it's the brains he has. It's something to watch. I went hunting not too long ago, and even David Beasley and them were with me, and they were like, "Wow, that's amazing how you just called him and told him to come off that tree right fast, and he comes right to you and heals." He'll load himself at the house. I just opened the kennel. He'll go load himself in the box. You take him hunting, he goes trees coons. If he's doing something you don't want him to, I can make him change directions. I can call him back from anywhere, make him heal. You can shoot coons out, cut him from a dead coon. You can make him tote it to the truck without walking him on a lead. You never have to put a lead on him if you don't want to. Just tell him to heal, take it to the truck. He can come back. He basically trained himself with the light on the collar on his own. I just happened to try it one night, and he picked right up on it because he was tone broke to come back and heal. Well, after the hunt, he was still trailing, and I didn't want to go have to chase him down. I just started flipping the light on and holler and heal. He picked right up on it, come right to me, and he's done it ever since. And the style of hunting is just what I love. He hustles, but he trees coons where you cut him. He'll tree a layup, old feed track, hot coon. It don't matter. He trees any style of coon and does it in nice fashion. Got a huge mouth on the tree, big locate. He does sound like a little squeaky duck. He don't, when he's on the ground, he squeaks most of the time. He doesn't put out a lot of mouth, but enough to six won't catch him and enough to let you know what he's doing. But when he comes on the tree, it's nice.
And you had him as a puppy, right?
We got him at I think he was a year and a half, almost 2 years old when we got him. He'd already done some winning in West Virginia. Mr. Albright had him, and we bought him from him because we owned Crow at that time, and we were looking for one of the better puppies out there out of Crow to get, and Brad McDaniel got him, which Brad owned Crow. And later on, we were hunting Crow, and we slowed down, and he said, if you'll hunt Stoke and get him right, get him like we want him, you can have half of him. Well, I did that, and I owned half of him with Brad, and then a buddy of mine, Steve Miller, brought Brad out from Iowa, and Stoke went up there with him, and he didn't buy him. I sent him up there to hunt for the summer, and after about 2 nights, Steve said, I'm buying half of this dog. So he bought half of him, and then it got where it was just too far apart for me and Steve, so I bought all of Stoke back because that's a long ways to be partners on a dog and shipping him back and forth that far. So I just bought him all back, and he's been mine ever since. He's going to stay mine.
So whenever you got him at a year and a half, 2 years old, whatever he was there, was he already trained like that, or is that something that you worked on after the fact?
That is something I worked on after the fact. I mean, he could already treat coons. He was a nice dog, done some winning. But as far as handling and those aspects, he didn't have a handle or nothing like that on him. It's just something I did, and he picked up on fairly easy. And that's why he's just an intelligent dog, and he's putting the same qualities in his pups.
Yeah. So I see the question asked a lot of times. Younger people, especially on social media, they'll end up getting a dog that's 12 months to 15, 16 months old, and they're asking, how should they start? Someone that's got a dog, kind of like you got Stoke. Where did you start to try to start putting that handle on them after they're that age?
Well, when they're that age, I like to put a small handle on a young dog before, and what I mean by small handle, where you can get your hands on them. Because a lot of times when a little pup, you work that in the yard of teaching them to just come over here and get a treat, just so they trust you to put your hands on. Because if you take them to the woods, you take them out of the kennel, you ain't played with them, you ain't done that, you take them to the woods for the first time, you might be out there for hours trying to chase him down because he'll get right in front of you, take off, and won't let you put your hands on him. So I start off with a small handle like that, but then after that, I wait till they're treating coons, they trust me well. Then we do yard work with a tone and a light shock to make them heel, and they learn the heel command. And then I transfer that to the woods at the, year and a half to 2-year-old stage. And if they got any brains, they'll pick up on it very fast of what heel means.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I know I take my puppies, I handle them. If they're young puppies, I handle them from the time they're young. I got a black female here. She was a little older when I got her, and she wasn't tone broke, and I just took her and worked her in the yard a little bit, and got her tone broke. It didn't take a whole lot to get her that way, but yeah, I just think that's important to share because I know I see a lot of people, they ask, hey, I bought this little bit older dog. Where should I start? And or I got a puppy. Where should I start? And I think the handle that you described that you have on that dog, I think that's a handle that a lot of people anyway, I would think would want to have. I've got an old English female here that I can pretty much call back to me without tone or anything. I just call her and she'll come to me, but. I'm not going to say I put it on there. I'm just going to say she kind of already had a handle, but she just trusts me and she knows I'm gonna take care of her. So she's pretty loyal to me. What all kind of hounds have you hunted with? Just the English and the Walkers?
I've hunted with about every breed out there, sometime or another at a hunt. I've hunted with a lot of big name dogs. Full Throttle Meltdown, Smirnoff Ice, Vapor, some of the trader dogs, Ruby. I mean, Sunday's Best. the list just goes on and on. Homer, Power Pack. So I've hunted with a lot of really good dogs, and that was back before the giant purse came. So those, you couldn't win a giant chunk with one hunt per se, $100,000 or something like that, like they got these days. Those were some fun times. There were some good dogs, really nice dogs. Had some great hunts with them.
Hey guys, this is Jason over at the Coonhound Collective podcast. Is your dog box starting to get wore? Maybe it's starting to get a little cracked like mine is. Maybe you've just been thinking about it's time to upgrade to a new box, but you've asked your buddies and you're just not real sure what direction to go in. Well, let me help you out here. Go check my friends out at CZ Welding and Fabrication, custom dog boxes and aluminum products on Facebook. You can check out all their custom work they do there and their designs that they do. If you don't see something that you don't exactly like there, reach out to Nathan at 540-810-5439, 540-810-5439, or send him a message through the Facebook page. I bet he can fix you up. Don't wait till fall to get that new dog box. Go ahead, get that dog box now. Get you something looking good in the back of your truck that you can be proud of and that you can haul your dog around in comfort. Check my friends out at CZ Welding and Fabrication. You won't go wrong. Dog boxes built by hunters for hunters. Get yours today. CZ Welding and Fabrication. Yeah. So in your time, have you only had walkers and English dogs, or have you had any other breeds?
I had 2 black and tans at one time. I only kept one, and he was a nice male. He actually won a couple hunts before he was 9 months old. He tree coon, but he had a style that I didn't like. When you undid the snap, he was barking, and he put out 200 barks before another dog even opened. And he didn't have much of a locate. So it was, I like listening to a hound. I like an honest open hound, and it just wasn't my style. And I just never tried another one besides, in the black and tan. I just been Walker in English.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of partial to black and tans just because that's what I started with back many years ago. That was the first dog that I bought was a black and tan, so I'm kind of partial to them. I've got some English dogs here and I've got some black and tans here, but yeah, I like to hear a dog work though, for sure, in the woods. My English female, she's just a little bit too quiet for me on the track, but she's a smart dog, and that's one of the qualities that I really do like about her.
Yeah, probably the best black and tan I've been in the woods with was here in Albany, Georgia. It's been many moons ago. I think it was Valley Creek Blackout was his name. Back there, I think he won some in the Winter Classic when it was in Albany, Georgia, but I drew out with him real nice. He was a nice unit with a good mouth.
Yeah, there's definitely some nice ones of each breed out there, and then there's some that are not so nice. But there's definitely some nice dogs to pick through from each breed, and no matter what their pleasure hunting, comp hunting, whatever.
I agree with that one. There's good and bad in every breed.
Yeah, for sure. So, we've kind of talked about you and the dogs you have, your stud dog that you have now, some of the things that you've done, some of the dogs you hunted with. But one of the things that we wanted to get together and talk about on this podcast today was this new kennel club that's popped up on Facebook, Superior Kennel Club, and kind of explain to the listeners what Superior Kennel Club is, kind of what the rules are, if there's titles, if there is any, just kind of explain what that is in generality, and then we'll go into more detailed questions as we get through here.
Are you tired of whipping, scolding, and shocking to make them get alone? Is your buddy tired of helping you set your dog up for correction night after night? Do you really want your dog to be alone because you forced him to be? Or would you rather him be alone because he wants to be? Grand Night Champion Small Town Lone Survivor is the product of over 25 years of strong natural-born independent traits. This bold trait has been passed down from generation to generation and is showing up in Loner offspring today. Loner is a direct son of Hall of Fame Grand Night Champion Cabin Creek Rowdy and Grand Night Champion Lonesome Dove Lori. Loner has a booming mouth that is talked about in every cast he has been in, including the 2021 World Hunt Finals. Loner is a no-reverse, ball-mouth open trailer who ends it plussed up with a huge dying locate and steady chop. Loner loves getting split and is a stay-put gun-pressure tree dog. Loner's intelligence is also impressive. He knows over 12 voice and hand signal commands. Loner has a character that loves like Jesus, but he doesn't walk on water. If you're interested in breeding to Loner, contact Brett Stevens at Small Town English Kennels at 417-300-3777 or find him on Facebook.
If you're interested in running a stud ad for your dog here on the Coonhound Collective podcast, reach out to us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Send us a message through Facebook or Instagram, and we'll be glad to get with you to get you an ad built and get you pricing on all of our ads. This come about after we recorded this podcast and we wanted to get this information out. The Superior Kennel Club now has a public Facebook page. You can go over to Superior Kennel Club. Search it on Facebook. It'll be SKC-Superior Kennel Club. And you can join the public Facebook page there. And you can kind of get the rules, kind of see what's going on over there. You will not be able to watch any live hunts unless you're a paid Superior Kennel Club member. That's $20 a year. And that gets you into the private group. Also, that will have the hunts live if you want to watch them or if you want to partake in them or whatever. So you can go over and check that out. It's SKC-Superior Kennel Club on Facebook to get more information on this.
Well, the Superior Kennel Club everybody's had the idea of these heads-up hunts. It's been going around for a long time. They even do it. UKC, they had the single hunt where a dog went out by itself. Some of these bigger hunts, you got a heads-up match right towards the end. So it's been around a while. Well, nobody's done it the right way, in my opinion. It hadn't been done the way that I like and had a vision in my head. So I got with L&E Kennels, which is David Bradley in Mississippi, and me and him decided to start this, and we brainstormed some ideas. And we want to focus it mostly on the youth hunter because if you look around this country, I got a buddy that's in Illinois, great guy. They had the state hunt. I'm not sure if it was PKC or UKC. I'll have to ask him, but it was a state hunt. His son was going to hunting at his youth. There was no other youth hunter. He had to go drive to find and pick up a boy that wanted to hunt and bring him to the hunt just so they could have the hunt. So that bothers me that the youth is not involved. And I know when you got parents that hunt, you got parents doing other things, a lot of this stuff gets really expensive. Well, I wanted to bring something where it could give back, and it was very cheap to get in, but it gave back everything to the hunters, and something very simple and fun for youth to want to get involved, where it wasn't so competitive with 4 people. There's not 100 rules for them to learn, because that's tough on a kid, a young kid. I'm a grown man, and I don't want to go in the woods and have to learn 100 rules, chase 4 dogs, and walk 8 miles. I don't even want to do that, and I'm grown. So no 7, 8-year-old kid really wants to do that, and it turns them off. So I was trying to come up with a format, and that's what we did, to come up with a heads-up format. Every member would pay $20 to join. You get put in a private page where all the hunts are live. If the hunt's not live or you ain't got reception, you got to record it and you email it to us and so we can review it. The only way you can win with plus, minus, or circle But the only way your dog gets credit for a win for the state race is with plus points on live video or recorded and sent in. We do have a state race, and the state race will go on. You get the plus point wins. The top 4 dogs in the state will hunt heads up at the state hunt. You'll have one dog win the state. That will be your world hunt representative. There's 3 divisions: the adult division, the senior youth, and the lower youth, which is seniors 13, 17, lower youth 12 and under. So you'll have 3 state champions if there's that many that's in the state. Some states might only have 1 state champion. The only way you go to the world hunt is you got to have 5 plus point wins to even be eligible. So you want to compete, and the way you compete is a domino effect kind of deal. If you join, you want to get your friends that hunt around you to join. That's so you got people you can compete against. I mean, you're going to pleasure hunt anyway. Why not make it fun? You and your buddy go for an hour and a half. Go live on our page. One of you is going to get a win. And that goes to your state race. There's also titles. You win 10 plus point wins, you're a super champion. You win 20, you're a superior champion, and you will get a certificate. And our main goal is to get folks involved, get the youth involved, where they're not having to stress about these rules while they're hunting. They're having fun and letting their dog do all the talking. I mean, the rules are simple. Get 1 plus point for first tree. The tree will either be plus, circled, or minus. The time on the tree is a minute long. So if you back inside the minute, the second dog backs, he gets a half a point. And those points go for plus, minus, circle, same deal. There's a stationary rule. If a dog's treed and you don't want to call him, stationary is 5 minutes. The judge will put the stationary on. If you do not tree him, 5 minutes is up, you'll have to go in and verify his tree. If he is, he's minus 1 tree point. If he's found trailing, it's off of him. Off game, you're scratched. The rules are just that simple. It's basically a coon for coon thing. There's no strike points. You will just strike your dog so the judge can acknowledge which dog is which, so he knows the difference. And your 2 handlers, your 2 members, you can face any member you want. That's why it's key for somebody to join, get your buddies to join. Them buddies are going to get their buddies to join. Then you got a whole community in your state that you can go over here and hunt against whoever you want in a heads-up match, no entry fee, hour and a half, have fun. All you ever paid was $20. If you win your state, you go into the world hunt, and the whole pot from all the memberships paid will be paid out at the world hunt.
Okay, so just so to clarify here, you pay the $20 into Superior Kennel Club. That gets you a membership for the entire year, and whoever you hunt against also has to be a member. You go live on the page or record it and send it in, and then the payout at the end of the year is whatever the membership fees were throughout the year, paid out, divided equally between the 3 categories if there is 3, or how does that work, or do you have those details yet?
We haven't got to those details yet. I think it's going to be a percentage. The whole 100% will be paid out to the hunters, but I think the adult will get the bigger percentage than the seniors, and then the lower kids will get the smallest amount, but it's going to still be a good check amount. It's not going to be nothing small according to the size of the group, the members that we have. This is nonprofit. Me, David, Steve Miller, Ashton Lynn, Doug Adams of Trickle Creek, Tyson Adams. All of us are doing this for free. We're not making a dime. Chris McCrary, he's our tech guy right now. He's making ads. He's the one that's making all these fancy rules for us because I don't own a computer and I'm not good at computer stuff. We got Conky Outdoors that's joined. They're going to be working with us on some new technology, and we're working together on that. So that's real exciting. Todd Tyler Duncan, his podcast, and all his guys join. They really like what we got going on. Our main goal is the youth, and I'm hoping we're going to try to do something. The details are still being worked out for this winter for the youth, maybe having a good hunt for the youth and working on getting sponsors to help the burden of the cost of them getting a hotel room, to help with their cost, fuel or hotel room, so the youth will never be charged in this group. No youth has to pay a membership fee. If you have 4 kids and you want your kids to compete, you as a parent pay $20 one time. All of your kids are free to compete then. They will be added to the group. They can compete. So no youth will ever be charged an entry fee. No adult will ever be charged an entry fee. So that's what we're leaning towards. And between the members, if you got a heads-up hunt and you and that person, y'all are in charge of finding you a judge that y'all both agree that lives in your area or your buddy, and he'll judge and he can video. If he's not a member, the 2 hunters, y'all pitch in $10 a piece to say thank you for him and pay his membership so he can be part of it. And he can watch these live hunts all year long for free, and he didn't do nothing but judge a cast. That's a good gesture to do. So that's what we aiming for. We're to get 2 guys together, have fun, let the dogs do the talking. And I think being live, it will showcase your hound for these guys. That there's guys out there that's got a heck of a hound that's just pleasure hunters, that just competition ain't their thing, or they can't afford to drive all over the place, hit these hunts. But this is something they could do right here in their own little town and go have fun with a buddy pleasure hunting, and you make it a fun competition hunting without all the headaches of the rules and the arguing over the money. It's just a fun thing to work towards.
Yeah, and we talked about that before we hit record. I've got a buddy that I'm going to talk to about this, because he don't competition hunt, but I think this would something he would be interested in, as just something different, something fun to do, for sure. So to me, you've kind of went over some things that are important to me. The youth is very important to me and very important to our sport. But why would someone out there, if they're on the fence about paying that $20, and I mean, we all know you can go to the gas station and you can spend $20 on a drink and a candy bar, or 2 drinks and a candy bar pretty quick. So $20 is not that much. But what would you say to someone that's on the fence, that's kind of iffy if they should do it or not? Maybe they're unsure of what happens if this don't go through, what happens if this don't make it. What would you say to them to kind of push them over that edge to try to get them to join?
Well, the way I look at this whole thing is this. Out of all the kennel clubs out there, you have to pay membership. You have to pay entry fees. Those are a lot of money. And a lot of luster has been lost for the little man these days because of the bigger hunts. But there's a place for those bigger hunts. Those are good for the sport. But there's this little guy that don't get to showcase his dog, and this is a good opportunity to showcase your dog, and all you ever invested was $20. You got a shot to go win your state. All you spend is $20. You got a shot to go to the world hunt. It's all live. You get a chance to show your dog off and be seen. And as far as any of those other kennel clubs, you lose one $30 cast, or you lose one $25 UKC cast. You just lost more money than you will lose with our kennel club in a whole year. And it's all that $20 is going back to us hunters. And we guys are doing it for free. If something doesn't work out, which I think even if we stay small, this is going to be something that keeps going, because it's going to be paid out. A lot of people like it. But if it didn't and we decide this is just too much hassle, it ain't getting big enough, we'll talk to the members. That's why the group's private. Everybody in there is going to have a say-so. If somebody wanted their $20 back, we'd hand it back to them. But if we didn't, we would say, hey, does everybody mind? Let's raffle all this off. Let's go buy all kinds of coon hunting equipment, lights, garments, collars, leads, and let's take all the youth that's in this club and let's spin a wheel and give this stuff to the youth. So your money's going to go back to the youth and the hunter. One way or the other, it can go back to you if something happens and we didn't make it. But I really feel this thing could really be big and good for the sport, good for youth. And somebody, at the end of the day, somebody's going to be smiling, getting a big check, and all they ever invested was $20.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this before we move any further. Is me and Todd talked yesterday on the phone, and while I was at work for a few minutes, and just a few minutes he talked to me on the phone. The just what they are wanting to do for the youth was enough to convince me to spend my $20 to join the Superior Kennel Club. So I am a member now, and I think if you're out there and you're on the fence, it's $20. I mean, spend $20, see what it's like. You just heard him say if it don't go and you want your money back, as long as you're, I think, probably not asked to leave the group, as long as you're being sportsmanship like, you get your $20 back. I think it's something that has definitely been making its rounds. This one-on-one stuff, and I think that it could be something that could grow for sure, and anything to benefit the youth, get the youth excited, get the youth involved in it. I think is always a plus for our sport.
Yes, and we got a good board of guys running this. I got Steve, he's up in Iowa, Doug Adams in Ohio. You got David Bradley, L&E Kennels in Mississippi. You got me in Georgia. We got Conkeys down in Florida. I mean, there's a lot of ideas being thrown around, and we'll evolve as we go. Now, if we get big enough to where we want to turn this thing into a registry, we got those things in play. We got those things in our pocket that we can turn it into. But we're focusing on keeping it always $20. If we have to go up, because we got to hire a secretary to handle this stuff, if we get that big, the membership will move up. But everybody will be letting on up front where it's going. We're still going to stay nonprofit until we have to do something different. But our main focus is staying exactly like this, giving it all back and making somebody just $20, and you can compete for a big check and your dog gets showcased. The little man, the pleasure hunter over here, he's going to finally get seen if he wants to. He don't have to drive way up to a big hunt and compete and take a chance of losing a ton of money that's going to hurt him and his family. That's a gamble, and it's tough on a lot of people. Most of these days and times, everything's super expensive. So this is something you can do in your backyard and have a good time, meet new guys, and just have fun with it.
Yeah, I agree. And I know this next question I'm going to ask is, it may be just a simple I don't know, and if that's it, it is what it is. But as this thing grows, as you see the memberships grow, at some point I would kind of think that the local club would need to get involved to really get this thing to take off, to pull in maybe some more memberships, or even the clubs buy memberships and start doing, two dog cast on their club hunt nights or something along those lines, and videoing it to help grow this. What benefits in there for the club? Because I don't think in our sport we can really see the local club go away, because a big portion of our sport, a lot of people that I talk to when I interview on the podcast, is, going to these clubs, going to these hunts, and meeting multiple people, and the camaraderie that's built there, the brotherhood that's built there. What is, do you have a future goal or future plan to somehow incorporate the local Coon Hunting Club.
Yes, we've talked about that, and that's why when we started trying to put a rep, if not two reps, in each state. The rep, he's there to talk, handle stuff, and that's setting up future stuff for maybe a club. So if down the road, if we get big enough where we can handle stuff like that and they want a club hunt, which would be awesome, you could have an 8-dog hunt on a weekend at a certain club in a certain state, and that whole 8-dog hunt go live. That's what that's way down the road, but there's still a lot of details to work out. But I would love to have clubs get in place if we get big enough there, because that helps out a lot. You can have a head guy to help run things and keep up with dogs, send the info in for us. It'll take the burden off, but keep it in the hunter's hands at the same time. So I like the idea. We've kicked it around, but we got to get there first, and that comes from the hunters getting involved and trusting to put their $20 in something and go hunt for it. And I think it can be a great thing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. And there's I've interviewed some older gentlemen. I'm not going to say they're too old to get in the woods, but they're getting up there, and they've kind of confessed that sometimes they have a hard time getting still getting out to the tree to the dog, and I think as competition hunters, as we get older and we can't make it to that tree every time, or the dogs just range out too far, this gives those guys an opportunity to join and even be spectators to help grow that, and they can stay involved in the sport that way.
I agree 100%. But the dogs these days a lot of them are different. I mean, they are going to be by themselves. When you cut 4 dogs in a cast, they go 4 different ways. And a lot of times, it's just which dog went the right way is going to win the cast. If your dog went left and they ain't much to the left and the other dog went right, he's going to win the cast. You lost when you cut yours loose. And they're going to go miles. You'll end up walking 4 or 5 miles in one cast because there's 4 dogs and they're trying to stay away from each other. This gives that a different outlook. With 2 dogs, they're not going to be pushing each other as bad. They're still probably going to split up, but it ain't going to be near as bad. An older gentleman can keep up. You're working at your own pace. I think you hit a good point with the older people, and the really younger people can keep up with this format.
Yeah, for sure. And did you say how long of a hunt did you say? 90 minutes? Is that what you said these were?
You got a choice. You can hunt an hour and a half, 2 hours, or 3. It's between the two. That's why we left it in the hunter's hands. The rules, we got a good format of rules. Anybody can look them up. You just go to our page. I think there you can click on the about. It tells you what the group's about. It tells you the rules. I've shared the rules. If anybody's got any questions, they can private message me. I will be glad to talk to them on the phone or through the messenger, whatever. Show them the rules. But that's why we left it in the hunter's hands. They get to pick what time limit they want to hunt. They get to find their judge. They get to handle the camera or get their buddy to walk with them as a spectator, video the hunt. So it's basically in their hands, and what they do is once you find a partner you want to hunt with, you send us the date y'all decide to hunt, send us a picture of your dogs, the names of the dogs. We will make up an ad for free and advertise that hunt everywhere on all these big sites, English, Walker Mafia, all that, everything for you. And that's so people see your dog. Your dog's going to get seen before you ever even hunt. And somebody that's, hey, I've heard of that dog, I want to watch it hunt. That will draw members. They're going to join just to watch your hunt live. We had one live last night. When the hunt was over, a fellow in Mississippi said, me and my wife watched this whole hunt, and this is a great group. It was awesome. Not the first bickering, not the first cuss word. It was a pleasure to watch. Keep doing a good job. And that meant a lot.
So um, you're paying $20 to join the kennel club. You're not paying $20 to quote unquote watch a video of dogs hunting every time. You're paying the $20 one time. That takes care of you for a year. You can watch as many hunts as you want to once you've paid your 20 through that group, and you're building the ad for the hunt for the hunters at no charge.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay, I want to make sure we're trying to be as clear as possible here, so everybody kind of understands, what's going on, and try to help you grow this thing to be something that everybody can look forward to hunting in, and the more memberships you grow, obviously the way it sounds to me, the bigger the purse will be at the end of the year.
That is correct. I mean, you just do simple math. If you got 1,000 members, that's $20. That's 20 grand. So if 20 states are involved, you're going to have 20 dogs go in there. You're going to be hunting against 20 dogs. Well, actually, it's a heads-up matchup. You'll be hunting against 10 dogs. So you got a 1 in 10 chance you're fitting to walk away with a huge check, and all you ever paid was $20. And that's huge. And yeah, if on the ad, like last night, we had a hunt got canceled because the dog was injured for Wednesday night. Well, somebody stepped up and said, well, we'll hunt the next night. We didn't have enough time to do an ad on that hunt. So if you're going to do a hunt, give us a good week's head up so we can get that ad done and, advertise it for you. If you can give us more than a week, that's great. But yeah, there's no charge on that. I got a guy that's wonderful, Chris McCreary. He does an awesome job.
Okay. If they're out there and they are a member, is there an email address they can send this stuff to? How do they get this information to you to build the ads for the hunt?
Well, if you're a member, you can post it on the page, and we'll get with you right there, or you can send a private message to any of the reps with me, Ellen and Kennel, Steve Miller, and we'll get it to the appropriate person for you. All you got to do is be a member, be on the group, and get it on the group, and we'll handle it.
Okay. And you talked about sponsors earlier, and which I think this is a great idea. If you can come up with a way to get this done, is to help take some of the burden off of some of the parents, from footing so much of the bill. Not that they that they're getting something for free, because it's still going to cost them a little something, but like helping with hotel rooms and stuff like that. What do you see, or how do you see we can get these sponsors drawn in to help support some of that stuff?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, you got to have members, you got to have eyes on it for folks to see how it's going, and that's what we're hoping to do, get the right people watching, get the right people involved, and those good people are going to step up when it comes time. Like our board guy, Steve Miller, he's already said he's going to furnish the trophies out of his own pockets for those kids. Me, Ellen and Kennels, we're going to throw extra money at it for them. We're going to help sponsor. We've already said that. So it comes from the hunters. Once you get the right eyes on it, and we're going to advertise it, and we're going to post it, hey, looking for sponsors, the good folks is going to step up, and we'll divvy it out amongst the youth to help cover that cost for the youth and their parents.
Hey guys, Jason at the Coonhound Collective podcast. Today I'm here to talk to you about a benefit hunt that's coming up. The State of Missouri Coon Hunters Association is holding the annual Shriners Children's Hospital benefit hunt on September the 24th, 2022. This is a UKC sanctioned event. There will be a bench show and a night hunt. There will also be a auction on the grounds at 1 o'clock. For more information on that, you can go to the Shriners Children's Hospital Benefit Stud Dog Auction and more on Facebook and check it out. You can scroll down through there. The winner of the bench show is going to get a CZ custom dog box. The winner of the night hunt is going to get the same custom dog box. There's a dog box up for auction right now over there, and a ton of stud dogs. Really nice dogs. Be a good opportunity to reserve a breeding for one of these dogs. Get your name in there. Stay on top of it. Make sure you win it so you can get a good breeding for that good female that you got out there. And there's a ton more other prizes. There's puppies being given away, some young dogs that are being auctioned, a lot of good things. Coon hunters are coming together for a great cause here. Help us make this hunt a large hunt here in Missouri. Help us raise some money to give to the Shriners Hospital. These guys are excited. They're really on fire here to try to make this hunt big. They're making a push here to make it. So help these guys out to really make this hunt a big hunt. You can reach out to Larry Bourbon if you don't have Facebook, and his phone number is 636-388-5420. 636-388-5420, or you can also reach out to Colton Ingram, and his phone number 636-249-3330. 636-249-3330. If you have something that you can auction off, get with these guys. They'll get it posted up on the page and get the auction running. Anything and everything. It doesn't have to be coon hunted related. Get it to them. Let's help these guys raise money for a great cause here. Coon hunters always come together to help other people. This is a great cause to help people. Let's help the State of Missouri Coon Hunter Association send a big check to the Shriners Hospital. Thanks. Okay. And those funds will be allocated for the youth for like the world hunts that the youth would have to travel to and hunting. Is that correct?
Yes, it will be for the world hunt. That would be right. And it will not come out of the membership world hunt pot. This will be totally separate thing for those youth, just for the youth at the world hunt.
Okay. And I know this is early. You may not can answer this question either, but is there location for World Hunt? Is it going to be in one location? Will this thing move around each year so it can kind of be convenient from time to time for everybody? Are we far enough along yet to have those kind of details?
Well, we talked about it. I think we would like to move it around some, so each year to take the burden off of a certain area. We'll have to see how many states get involved, but basically, if anything, it's going to be a central location for everybody to reach the first year probably, and then we'll go from there as we grow. If we move it around the areas to better suit each person each year, take turns like the other clubs do. But I think central location for the first year until we get big enough, that could devil's in the details on that one, according to the memberships we get.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of states representative, do you have a rough idea of what states are currently being representative out there? Maybe someone's joined and they're not sure if there's someone else in their area or someone else in their state that's joined. Do you have any numbers on that or idea on that?
Oh, we got, off the top of my head, we got Illinois, we got Ohio, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, Iowa. I think we got Nebraska. That's off the top of my head what I've got right now.
Okay, so you got a good foundation there of states to really start with this thing and grow, and maybe get some dogs out of it to compete in a world hunt. It sounds like to
yes,
me.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
I think that was the questions that I had for it, that we wanted to get the information out there to people so they understand. Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to cover to make sure everybody was clear on or understood?
Well, the only way, just any information you need, you can contact me on Facebook. Anybody can find me. A lot of people know me. Um, there's three ways to pay. You can pay by Venmo, Cash App, or you can mail a check. Either one of them is fine.
Okay. And I'm going to put the links to those Cash App, Venmo, etc. in the show notes, so you can just click down on the show notes and be able to join, right there by clicking that link, just to kind of make it easier. Um, is there any other before we get off here? We're right at an hour, and I've got a couple more things before we move off of this. Is there any other closing remarks you want to make, or anybody you want to thank, or say anything to?
Yeah, I want to thank LNE Kennels for stepping up to start this thing with me, and then all the other group of guys, Steve Miller, Chris McCreary, Doug Adams, they jumped right on board, no questions asked. And Ashton Lynn, she's done a good job. I really appreciate everybody's hard work, because everybody's got a full-time job, and we're handling this for free. And that shows that we actually care what we're doing, and we want to do it for the right reasons. It's not about the money. It's about the hunters and the dogs.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, the conversation we had, you know, the the surrounding around the youth. The youth seems to be the focus, and I really like that. I think that's important for our sport. It's important to have something they can get excited about, and it don't cost an arm and a leg to go do, and they have an opportunity to win some nice money prize, and maybe some nice other prizes and gifts that they could get, and hopefully we get some sponsors to step up and put in some product that can be raffled off, or some monetary gifts given to help take the burden off of some of the parents to get these youth to the world hunt.
Yes, sir, I agree. There's nothing like a kid. I mean, it's one thing to go to a hunt and win, but to go compete, have fun, and have your dog and you showcase live for everybody to see, and have a chance to win a state race, world hunt, and you didn't have all the burden of the money, and that's a lot on a kid, and the kid will be proud of that. Be on live video.
Yeah, I agree with you there, 100% for sure. Um, well, I think that covered everything that we wanted to cover with the Kennel Club. I always like to end the podcast with a good coon hunting story. So, do you got something you can share with us?
Oh yeah, I got a good one. Oh, Buck Clements is real. That's my buddy. I've hunted with him a long time. He owns a really nice dog, crossbred out of Spare Time Spanky and Schooner River Spice. And matter of fact, it was the last hunt that I hunted that Walker female that was really nice, that died at 2 years old. He helped me bury her. But the last competition hunt we was on, come down to the last tree. I got lucky and won the cast, but we were scoring his dog's tree, and it was a den tree. Had a big old hole in the front. He's up in there leaning and looking up in that tree, and I happened to notice there was a little hole in the back side of it, about the size of your hand. I was like, man, Buck, I think he's got that coon. I need you to look in there one more time, and I'm going to tap on this tree. I bet you will see him. He leaned in there. When he did, I stuck my hand through that backside and hit my squaw and touched his face. He liked to kill himself that night, trying to get out of that den tree. We laughed so hard at that, and that was a really good memory, because it was the last time I got to hunt that female.
Yeah, that's pretty good for sure. Well, I think we all have the tendency to maybe play some jokes when we're out there, for sure. Well,
Yes, sir.
if you don't have anything else, we've been at it right at an hour. I think we covered everything pretty well. If you're interested in helping out Superior Kennel Club, reach out to Todd. Look him up on Facebook, and you can join. If you're a sponsor out there, get a hold of them. Let them know what you can do, what you can help out with. I believe every little bit would help to help get the youth involved. The sweeter you can make it at the end of the year for them, I think the better it'll be. The more people you can get involved.
Yeah, and I want to put a thank out to my wife and coon hunting, because it was coon hunting why I met my wife, and we got some beautiful kids, and she's been wonderful. And if it wasn't for coon hunting, I wouldn't have never met her.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, and you definitely got to give thanks where it's due, especially when it comes to our wives. They a lot of times put up with us being gone, chasing a dog, training dogs, being on the road hunting, et cetera, and they make sure things are took care of at home.
That's right. She always tells me, you got to listen to those leaves rustle on that phone at night, because I'll watch a live hunt like last night, and I get a kick out of it, but she puts up with it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we covered it all. I think we'll shut it down right here. Todd, I appreciate you being on the Coonhound Collective podcast, and I want to thank Nathan Kaufman and CZ Welding and Custom Dog Boxes for helping making this podcast possible, and the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, go over and check out our YouTube channel too. We'll be releasing some videos there on some products and on the dog box that we got from Nathan if we haven't already got it put out. Thank you for joining us today on the Coonhound Collective podcast. Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.